Hello, welcome to another day in the life of TLE. I have some updates about doctors and plans or possible plans for my care in the future. So today I went to meet with a new doctor, a new oncologist, and I'm pretty pleased with the experience. It was a very positive experience. The fellow doctor who I met with first was very understanding, very empathetic. Um, he connected with me. I felt like we were all in the same room, on the same page. Nothing was going over my head or, things of that nature. So it was a really good experience. I felt like they were talking to me and not over me and around me. So that was really good. Um, the fellow doctor was very young, so I was a little concerned, but he was definitely able to relate to some of my concerns, especially as it relates to being working class and needing to work and things of that nature, and needing to know how to go forward as it relates to um, planning my life and getting back to work, or what type of um, timeline should I anticipate not working. I did mention to him, the neuropathy. Mentioned to him that the neuropathy has definitely affected my life and my ability to physically do a lot of things that I'm used to being able to do. So just trying to share that part of me with the doctors, and I'm really pleased with how I feel like they perceive that, and as well as their empathy in that. And that was what I feel like a pretty new experience for me during this time, and that was really helpful and just encouraging. Also, the new doctor invited me to go to a conference that he's doing in a week or so, and that made me feel like I was included in his life, and not necessarily his life, but that he was inviting me right in and just to go with the flow of how things go, and that made me feel good. I'm very interested in going to the conference because even though I've been dealing with the illness for the last year or so, there's still a lot to learn, and I actually learned so much today, which is very interesting because I have been back and forth over the last year dealing with the disease and learning about the disease. So it was very interesting because I learned a lot of facts that I actually had heard otherwise on some of these topics about who gets the type of cancer that I have, and what population and what age group, and how many people are diagnosed per year. So that was really good information because I really didn't know some of that stuff, and I was communicating some other things early on. So that was good. He was also mentioning that during the conference there will be a lot of information about the transplants, and just a lot of information. So I'm really excited about going to the conference and learning more about the disease. And again, that just made me feel like I was a part of the care, and we were on the same team, and that he was inviting me into his role. And so that's a totally different experience, and I will say that this is the first time that I've felt that way throughout my time of going to different hospitals and doctors. So that's a plus. He also seemed very literal, and he was talking to me, spend time to go over things and talk about things. He seemed hopeful and optimistic about me being able to do the transplant, but honest about not necessarily knowing what was going on with the care at large, and what state I'm in. So he wants to do new PET scans, of course, which makes sense, to make sure that there isn't any new residual cancer, because it's been about 5 months since I've done a PET scan. He also wants to find out the state of my lungs, and I am also seeing a new pulmonologist, so I will meet this person next week. And the person who I'm meeting with is someone that he works with. I'm hoping to have a positive experience with that individual as well. And also the doctor that he mentioned, another doctor that he mentioned, I had already set up an appointment with that person. So I'm hoping to have a positive experience with that person too. But overall, I just feel much better about making a decision to transfer doctors. I feel like it was the right time, and I feel like it was the right decision. Um, and I hope that this experience is really good. I'm hoping to move forward and just proceed with things. He talked about wanting to transplant within the next month or so. So now I'm feeling a little scared because, it's like, oh, we may be actually getting there. But I'm also hopeful and happy that, he's actually talking about planning, because it's been 7 or 8 months of just limbo with the whole idea. He sounded really positive about my lung function and said that, it looked pretty good, but he wanted to definitely talk to the pulmonologist before making such decisions. And so we talked about also getting some of my family members tested to see if they're donors. So that's new, because previously we were talking about doing my own stem cells, which I harvested last year. And so that was new, including family members, siblings, to see if there are matches. And also just the whole idea of wrapping my mind around having to possibly find a donor. That's some new news, and it's new news, and so I have to process that. And he talked about the fact that if I actually go with a donor, the process could be longer, and of course, there are some risks with that. But being that my lungs was damaged by the previous chemos, and the case being a little complicated because of that, so he was just throwing different options out there and different types of treatment plans. And so he did bring up radiation again, and I told him, that radiation pretty much frightens me. So I was hopeful that I didn't have to go that route. I'm hoping that I still won't have to go that route, but I don't know. I'm not gonna jump the gun. I'm not gonna stress myself about most of this stuff, because it's, out of my control for the most. So, so just a lot of information. I'm still processing a lot of information. I'm not really excited about the radiation again, but I am excited about having conversation and having some type of idea, and as well as possible plans for going forward. And based on the conversation today, he seemed pretty positive about wanting to move forward, and he didn't say yay or nay to the apprehension. He mentioned that the apprehension was largely because of the lung toxicity, but he didn't necessarily seem to have the same apprehension as the previous doctors had about moving forward. So that was a plus. I mean, I don't want to be rush a situation that will definitely harm or debilitate me, but I didn't get the sense that he would just throw me out there and, not be concerned about those things as well. So that's all really good news, and I'm really excited about just the newness and having some idea of what's going on and what some of the concerns are. And I'm also excited about um, just the overall experience. I feel like, starting off really good. And I think if you start off relationships with that type of energy and openness and flowetry, then you will definitely find that it'll fare better. And so I'm in a different place. My expectations are different. And so those things are now needing to be addressed slash even met. So it's not necessarily towards anyone, but it's just at this point in my life, I need certain things. I need certain answers. I need certain participation and even attributes and characteristics, are important too, as it relates to the people that I'm working with. And so that may sound weird or immature, but I think all those things helps when you're in situations like trying to figure out your life and medical stability and things of that nature. So that's that. I think that's a lot of information to pass on. And I'm also really excited about launching a new project. I'm going to, I have an idea just to generate some type of funds while I'm waiting for the transplant. So I bought my first piece of equipment today for that, and I'm excited as well as nervous because it's new, and I hate to confess that, fear is trying to show up, or that is even a part of my mindset. But one would think after the year that I've had, I would just be like, I'm going forward, life is short. And overall, I do have a outlook that has changed, and that is more to the point and more direct and intentional. But I'm still human, and I am a little nervous about stepping out and taking such a big leap because I don't want to fail, and that is a concern of mine. And my friend a couple of weeks ago had told me not to think about failure, but rather think about the opposite of failure, which is success. And what does that mean to me, and what does that look like? So I'm embarking on the thought of that, and I haven't necessarily found my centered place with that. I know what success means to me just off the top of my head, and as a person, but as it relates to business ventures and things of that nature, I'm still a work in progress with that. But I feel pretty confident about the overall idea. But the human part of me is a bit nervous and apprehensive because this is a new thing for me, and I've kind of tried to stay away from this type of business as well as, so I think I have it in me for sure, but it's different because I never wanted to go in business this way, as well as use certain skills that I feel like are deeply buried. But all in all, I'm excited about taking a leap, along with being, again, a bit nervous about it too. But it's good energy overall, and I will be mentioning that and as I learn and as I grow, and I'm just feeling really positive about it, and I'm really hopeful, and prayerfully that I hope that things are successful and they work out in my benefit, especially hearing the news today that even after the transplant that I may need a year or so of recovery. And so financially, that's a major burden. And being that that's the case, I want to maximize time and resources, and definitely do what I could do to help myself in a situation. And so this is just me thinking. This is me trying to be proactive. This is me um, using what I have to try to make something out of that. And my prayer is that it increases and it is blessed, and that it's beneficial to my life and my livelihood and my well-being. And so this video is a bit longer than what I tried to do ordinarily, so I'm going to get ready to end it, but just wanted to give an update on what is happening and what is going on, and just put out some positive energy about something that happened positive. A lot of times, as people, sometimes we tend to focus on the negative, or we get caught up in the things that are not going the way that we want to go. And then when moments happen where things are going well, or things are better, or whatever the case may be, we tend to sometimes look over them because we're so concerned about the other things. And so I just wanted to put all energy out there, because it's real. What you feel and your reactions and all those things, you have to honor them and your emotions. And so I wanted to put this part out here because it's definitely a part of the journey. And I want to, again, encourage people that may feel a little apprehensive about getting their needs met, or being vocal or being aggressive about what they need and their expectations, to just step out there. And not only that, I was talking the other day about like finding purposeful and meaningful things to do. And so it's important to find things that are meaningful, so that you just don't feel like you're sick or you're a lump of flesh and you're not doing anything productive. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you.